Like we're both. It's conjecture on both sides. Nobody really knows what's going to happen yet because it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's terrifying. Like,
all right,
what is he doing, man? Everything that he's like, you're giving him so much benefit of the doubt that this is like some masterful move. When the rest of us are looking at it like, dude, this is not good. It doesn't seem like he's having a hell of a go at it.
I'm just being hopeful about it, and on the left, and obviously that's gonna be that. It's going to be that way. It's, you guys are going to think of the absolute worst case scenario. And I'm not saying that he's not giving you ammo for that. I'm not saying that you're wrong in the way that his rhetoric sounds. I'm just hoping that when it comes down to it and policy starts to take shape, when he actually is the president, that it's not nearly what his rhetoric sounds like, and we saw that in 2016. Though it's not like we don't have a past to look back at.
The thing is, like, he's got a bunch of yes men in power now, so he's doing things that normally wouldn't be able to get done without these weird things he's doing, appointing people, trying to get them pushed through without FBI background checks, trying to get them appointed by threatening Congress, Musk threatening Congress by to not pass laws and to, like, this is insane, man. This is bad.
Well, Musk, he was brought on as basically like a consultant for government spending. So him putting his 2 cents in there is kind of what he was brought on to do, right?
He's the richest man in the world, threatening people's jobs if they vote in the way opposite of their constituents' wills, like the will of their constituents.
Was it though? Did the
It's their job to decide what their constituents want, not Elon Musk.
Yeah, but I mean, I think everybody is in agreement that omnibus bills at the end of the day, when it's last minute or the government's going to be shut down and they throw in all other shit that nobody could even read, it probably isn't the best way to govern.
No, it's the exact opposite. You're completely wrong. I don't really, I don't really want to talk to you, but I'm just gonna. You're wrong, right? Like, and it was proven that way. Because what has to happen is a consensus, right? Mike Johnson was right. You can say Mike Johnson's weak, but he needed He needed Democratic votes in the House to move the spending bill out of the House. In the end, he ended up needing Democratic votes in the House to move the spending bill out of the House. Without the Democratic votes, 34 Republicans still would not vote for any bill.
Right.
So that's why you have to compromise. That's why there's things like, hey, which Elon Musk lied about a lot of it. He said that there was billions of dollars for a stadium. That was a lie. It was a simple transfer of land. It was a document to transfer land so DC could begin negotiations. It was no money. All right. I mean, and imagine what Elon Musk didn't take out. And MAGA is so hypocritical. You guys are like, America first, America first. Let's do what benefits Americans. You know what Elon Musk refused to let them keep in the bill? Limits on foreign Chinese investment. There was what was in that bill was things to help America first, to make rich people who are starting businesses invest in America versus China. And that's what the Republicans took out of the bill. And Trump is the most disingenuous of all. We're talking about Department of Government Efficiency. What Trump tacked on, and you're saying at the final hour, Trump is the one that tacked something on at the final hour. They spent months negotiating that bill. Months. It was negotiated bipartisanly, months negotiating it. Trump said, hey, add $5 trillion to the debt for me, so I can just do whatever I want when I get in there. I don't want to have to negotiate to raise the debt ceiling and offset my tax cuts with other cuts in the budget, which if he was a real Republican and truly fiscally responsible, he would do. Trump said, I want you to write me a blank check for $5 trillion, and could not understand why the few Republicans in the House who are fiscally conservatives were like, I'm not going to do this. It goes against everything I've been voted into office to defend. Yeah, but I don't hear you saying Trump's doing weird things at the last minute that seem to go against the principles of the entire Republican Party. You will defend anything Trump does.
I'm not defending anything.
Yes,
Trump
you
does.
do. I've heard you do this for over a year. Anything Trump does, you will justify. You are a Trump apologist, a professional Trump apologist.
Okay.
And I can tell you, I was doing statistical analysis on the tax cuts since 1980 that the Republicans are always responsible for, and it has never benefited the majority of America, right? Who it benefits is the 1%, and particularly the 0.1%. These Republican tax cuts, the Bush tax cuts, they have never benefited the middle class or the lower class. Never. They've hastened transfers of wealth, Drew. There's no trickle down. I literally have I did 3 statistical analysis from 1980 to 2024 about wealth inequality.
Well, then
there is no benefit to the American people for cutting rich people's taxes. None. As a matter of fact, there is a negative effect on the middle and lower classes.
The 80s we did very well in the 80s, I thought.
I'm talking about the tax cuts between 1980 and 2024. Yeah, because Joe, you don't understand the global economy, right? The effects when Reagan came in and started deregulating and allowing stock buybacks, it does not happen instantly. That's what you guys never understand, right? We have 60 years of data. No, it takes longer than that. Bless your heart for not understanding how the economy works still. You listen, you troll me in lives all the time. Still, you've learned nothing. We have 60 years of data that says no wealth has trickled down. As a matter of fact, it's the opposite. Large transfers of wealth have transferred up.
Okay, so if it takes longer than that, so then when Democrats say that Trump inherited Obama's economy, that's really not true because it takes a lot longer than that.
No, Obama's economy was 8 years. Well, we're talking about tax cuts. Here, let me just help you out with this. Let me read you some of this. Reagan didn't start in 1980, so wealth share changes. The top 1% in 1980 had 23% of the wealth. In 2024, they have 32.4% of the wealth. Net gain, 9.4 percentage points. The top 0.1% in 1980 had 7% of the wealth. They have 15.9% of the wealth in 2024. The top 0.01% had 2.2% of the wealth in 1980. They have 7.8% of the wealth now. Bottom percentile losses because we have never gained. All we have done since 1980 is lose. The middle and lower classes, we have lost while wealth is transferred to the top of the economy. So the share of total wealth, the bottom 50% of people in this country in 1980 had 2.9% of the wealth. In 2024, we have 1.5%, a net loss of 1.4 percentage points. The bottom 90%, in 1980, the bottom 90% of the U.S. economy had 35.2% of the wealth. In 2024, we have 30.2. We are negative 5 percentage points. Nothing the Republicans have done has ever benefited any of us.
Have you seen this before, Drew? This is a chart of the wealth gap. So 1980, you see how they intersect the bottom 90% and the top 10%? And then when Reagan cut those taxes, it was like he unleashed them to just fucking go crazy. Do you see how they just start running away from us? And you can imagine what happens. This stops in 2010. You can imagine what happens after Trump does his tax cuts, and you add on about 14 more years onto this. It's even bigger, and that's what those tax cuts do. They make rich people really, really rich, and us moderately okay.
And then what's the alternative?
What's it called?
Incentivizing corporations to do the right thing, taking money out of politics, limiting stock buybacks, incentivizing corporations to reinvest in real wages.
Okay. And when are we getting? You know, it seems to me that all sounds great, and the Democrats all have.
No, it's not great. It's not bad or good or great. It's factual data.
Okay, then why when Democrats have control of things, they don't bring it forward?
We do. We lower the deficit. We repair the economy. That's what the Democratic Party does.
Well, in Obama's case, the Fed fixed the economy. It had nothing to do with Obama. If you have some kind of policy that
That's
Obama,
not true.
what did he do? The QE and artificially low interest rates is what saved the economy. Go home, get.
Well, he did bail out the car industry and
Big giant corporations and banks, and left everybody else out to dry.
You're joking, right? You're joking.
I'm
A
not
crisis that was forced by Republicans and specifically conservative greed, right? The boom bust of capitalism the bust that was forced by the donor class. And the Democrats are left with a crisis and it's just like, hey, what's the fastest way to repair the economy? Which is never the fastest because it's never fast enough because all we have are conservatives who don't understand how a global economy works, complaining the entire time while we do our best to repair it.
Repealing Glass-Steagall is
Drew, blame the people that crashed the economy. Blame the donor class blame them.
Under whose presidency did they repeal Glass-Steagall? Bill Clinton. Do you know what Glass-Steagall, the Glass-Steagall Act is?
Yes, Drew, I do.
Okay, so you know that how that specifically caused the bust of the mortgage meltdown and the bust, right? Because now a lender could be a broker, can be could be all the different things, and so they could have done everything in house and then sold to the public their mortgage-backed securities, right? There was no more checks and balances anymore. So a bank, when they were doing loans, they used to have to bundle the loans and try to sell those to a brokerage firm. And
who voted for that, Drew? You're joking with me, right? Like this is a joke. You're joking, right? Who voted for the Glass-Steagall Act? Are you implying that that Republicans, that conservatives did not support that? That they did not lobby for it?
Who signed it?
You're joking, though, right? You have to be kidding, Drew. It was largely supported by conservatives, and I'll give you this: Bill Clinton was a moderate Republican from Arkansas. He was a Republican masquerading as a Democrat. That was smart of you guys to put him in office, right? You know what else happened under Bill Clinton? They stole from the Social Security. That also was conservative Republicans, Drew. That's you. That's your legacy. They balanced the budget by stealing from our Social Security. And Clinton signed that too. I don't like Bill Clinton. He is a Republican.
Okay, but you were saying
I don't like Bill Clinton. He is a Republican. You are trying to defend something that the Republican Party was lobbied by Wall Street for and by finance bros. Passed through Congress resoundingly. The conservatives. Right? And then you think because Bill Clinton signed it, Bill Clinton was also a Republican. Shame on him. That's why we need progressive candidates in office. Because moderate Democrats are Republicans and can't be trusted either. If you are hastening large transfers of wealth to the top of the economy, if you are hastening late stage capitalism, shame on you. But Drew, thank you for bringing up Glass-Steagall, because that is the Republican legacy.
It was a mistake for Bill Clinton not to have.
No, it was a mistake for the Republicans in Congress. That's conservative policy born of conservatives. So take responsibility. Drew, you are a conservative. You shouldn't be saying it was a mistake. You should be saying, way to go, Bill Clinton. You're voting for these policies. You're voting for large wealth inequality, for increased wealth inequality. That's what you're voting for.
We had two choices. We don't have a lot of choices in this country. We had two choices. That was it.
A rapist with no plan and Kamala.
Like I have to be all.
Drew, you sound embarrassing. You are a Republican complaining about conservative policy. If you have a problem with conservative policy, then start supporting progressive candidates. And I'm not talking about moderate Democrats. I'm talking about progressive candidates.
Well,
that's what you should do. If you want moderate Democrats, talking about progressive candidates.
Well,
That's what you should do. If you want large transfers of wealth to the top of the economy to stop voting for them.
I don't know. I haven't seen anything to the contrary from the.
Oh, embarrassing! How embarrassing, Drew.
Doing that doesn't help the argument at all. Just saying that doesn't help the argument. It's like a tactic. Just stop it. It's silly.
I'm going to go ahead and say the things I want to say.
There's no reason for that tactic.
Just going to say whatever comes in my head.
Okay. So, thanks for coming up, Felice. I appreciate it. And like I was saying, I think you guys lost this election. To go back to where we started, I think you guys lost it. It was yours to lose, and you guys lost it. Just strategically, that's what happened. It had nothing to do with racism or misogyny. I think it's a good argument.
Drew's Delulu. Thank you, Drew, for again carrying water for the Conservative Party. It's not about people's personal beliefs, right? It's about conservative policy and impact studies that have been done that shows conservative policy is disproportionately disenfranchising Black and brown people, women, minority groups. No, but Drew, what you don't understand is data. It's not disputable. Conservative policies disproportionately disenfranchise Black and brown people, right? Minority groups, the LGBTQIA, women. It's not up for debate, Drew.
Okay. I'm just saying it didn't work. Didn't work. You need to change.
Yes, we have a lot of confused people.
And now
yes, when you can convince 50% of this country that immigrants who came here with nothing somehow are stealing from them, yeah, we're in a bad way. You got, Drew. I agree, and I agree. MAGA is continually getting got by the people who are literally robbing them. That's the best part. You should be ashamed of the fact that you fell for it. They have your money. They have your money, and you're on and are robbing you every day. And you're on here carrying water for them. You're on here defending them.
You're going to carry both sides of the conversation. Is that what we're going to do?
No, I'm literally just stating facts. You're carrying water for the people that are robbing you.
I was saying that it was yours to lose, and your strategy doesn't work. And you could talk about data. You could talk about anything you want. It didn't change the fact that you lost because your strategy sucked.
Drew, we're all in the same lifeboat. You are losing too. That's what you don't get. You think that this election was the Super Bowl and you won the big game. You are so confused. We are all being robbed by the same people. You are being robbed by the same people I am being robbed by. The election does not matter, only that it will hasten the amount of wealth transfers to the top of the economy, right?
That's what matters.
No, I mean, but Drew, that's what you don't get. You have lost. I have lost. The middle class has lost. The lower class has lost. We have lost. Okay. You didn't win anything. And by the way, thanks, Courtney. Courtney said, for educating us all, you are unstoppable. Thank you for your undeniable strength and knowledge. Thank you, Courtney. That's so sweet.
Where's my money, Drew? Where's my money? Drew, I think we're about done. Do you want to say one last thing?
Yeah, that's it. I have nothing else to say.
All right, bro. Go on, get.
That's my favorite Family Guy episode, by the way, where he's like, "Where's my money, Brian? Where's my money?" That is one of my all-time favorite Family Guy episodes.
You have enough money for a fake mustache, dude.
Where's my money, Brian? Where's my money?
Yellow. Just watching straight up cartoons. Hello? Care Bear.
If I seem a little rude to Drew, it's personal because he used to follow me around the internet for a year, right? Like I have a long history with Drew. I could tell you some things Drew said that would shock you. Like
Or not.
so that was, yeah, if that seemed like that was a little personal, it just is.
Yeah. You weren't rude enough. I like that. Chat, if you are MAGA and you want to debate, hop in the box. If you're friendly, hop out of the box. There's a lot of people in here.
Happy Christmas Eve's Eve, Pickles.
That's right. Happy Christmas Eve Eve.
Christmas Eve's Eve.
Has everyone told you that yellow is a color, not a way to answer the phone? Hello? Yellow? Okay. We got a lot of people butt dialing in, chat.
Thank you guys for all the nice comments in the chat. Don't make me cry. This is so nice. I love you guys. I love Pickles. You have the best community ever.
I know.
Yo,
What's up,
can
dude?
you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yo, I think Drew's gonna cry. I know his voice was getting shaky near the end. But good on you, Felice. Good on you. I have a question to you guys. I'm Canadian. What do you guys think about Trump's comments about Canada and the 51st state and calling Trudeau the...
Distasteful, stupid.
We're embarrassed and we apologize.
Oh, fuck, no. I know it's not you guys, but holy shit, it's embarrassing for us, too. It's embarrassing for us, too. And we're probably going to elect a Trump-esque candidate in Poilievre this
Yeah, he's like the poor man's Trump. Yeah.
Oh, he is so awful.
Ridiculous.
He voted for gay conversion therapy in 2005.
Oh, man. He's Mike.
Science be damned.
Yeah.
And he's going to win a majority parliament. So, long story short, I'm not going to be on here for too long, but love you guys. Great job, Felice.
Love you
Bye-bye.
back. Okay, bye.
I have this MP, like I have this clip I didn't do the people's receipts today because someone said, yeah, I just needed a little bit of a break. But this MP, Canadian MP was on like Ben Meiselas's podcast. And he was kind of like Ben Meiselas was just like, okay, like, what do you have to say to Trump kind of thing? Listen to that.
Angus, what's the latest? What do you want to say to Donald Trump?
Well, listen, Mr. Trump, right now you're trying to shut down the American economy for Christmas. I mean, who does that? And what? Because Elon told you to do that? Like, you are plunging your nation and your people into a world of hurt. And so what are you doing? You decided you're going to pick on your quiet next door neighbor. That's like going to the librarian down the street and shouting at them to divert attention because the cops are after you. No, we're not going to put up with it, Donald. Here's the thing. We've got the world's longest.
That's like going down the street and yelling at a librarian because you stole something and you're trying to divert attention for the cops. That's hilarious.
What the hell?
What? I know, like the analogies are funny.
This is so
yeah, it is. Someone
entertaining.
said it's Charlie Angus. I think that that is who it is.
Undefended border. We got $100 billion worth of trade. We've got just-in-time delivery going back and forth all across the border. And you want to put not just Canada, but your own citizens in a world of hurt? What? To look like you're tougher than us? Well, go for it. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot of people on both sides. But the your organization right now, and I call it an organization rather than a government, are all grifters and thieves and thugs. We got to look after our own interests right now. We will work with your country. We will work with our great neighbors. But Donald, don't push us around.
He's like, we know you're a criminal. Like, that's funny. I don't know. I just thought it was funny.
Be right back.
Does my Venmo work? Yes, I believe it does. It did this morning. Yeah, Courtney sent me money through Venmo a couple of minutes ago. I know, Charlie Angus. I love Canadians because even when they're insulting someone, they're still kind of polite. I love Canada. If I could live anywhere, it would probably be cool. It would probably be Toronto. I love I'm a huge Toronto fan. It's expensive though.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I hear it's expensive.
I hung off the side of the CN Tower. Like, you can scale, like, it's this huge tall tower in Toronto and you can go up to the top and like they let you outside and then it was super fun.
Chat, if you're a Trump supporter,
People are saying, come see us in Toronto. Yes, get my asylum paperwork ready. What if we flee to Canada, then Trump just like starts a war, and then we're still trapped in the United States?
that would happen to us too.
Yeah, and then Elon Musk is like making investment, trying to get involved in politics. And what is it now? In Germany, in the UK,
the far-right
and
party.
Italy.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
He's endorsing the far right parties in Germany, Italy, and the UK.
Gross.
And
dude.
but I was saying this during Facts of My Live this morning. Think about it this way, though: he would be a bad business person to not try to replicate what he has done in the United States. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. He invested $277 million in the United States election, got a candidate elected, and has grown in wealth, like almost doubled his wealth.
Yeah.
And if that's what he learned, and you have a fiduciary responsibility to shareholders, shouldn't you go try to meddle in other elections?
Yeah, he's franchising what he just did.
Exactly, he is. It's a franchise. Election interference franchising. This is where we're at in late stage capitalism. You can come up here, Aunt. Trump's our daddy. Come up and talk to us about it.
The Democrats are trampling over the First Amendment. Trump is literally attacking the free media. He's attacking people and even influencers, saying that he will go after them for defamation suits. Even people like me. Is that free speech? He wants to fire all the left-leaning people in the military. He wants to check people at the border for religion and their economic views, make sure they're not socialist. He wants to thought police people at the border. That's directly against the First Amendment. He wrote that down. But you guys don't care. You guys don't really care. He's going after Polster and Iowa.
Tanner says this is a continuation of the CCPI fund. Please follow along. What is the CCPI? I thought the CCPI. Oh my God, I'm gonna just get an acronym totally wrong and embarrass myself. But I thought the CCPI fund, doesn't it have to do with climate change performance index? That's what I thought it was.
Yeah,
is that what it is? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to guess the wrong acronym. I know you.
Sure.
Yellow.
What's your plan for 2028?
You guys keep asking us that. Do you guys have presidential candidates picked out 4 years ahead? Like before Trump won the first time.
JD Vance is a great choice. But now who's your choice for 2028?
Pete Buttigieg.
What's your plan? I mean, what's going to be your message? Is it going to be the same path? Do you think you'll keep running with it, or are you going to change it up?
I don't know. Like the election was stolen. Like we could yell that for 4 years like Trump did. We could steal his thing.
Did those prosecutions work?
I would love Pete Buttigieg. I would love that.
Were those prosecutions
Buttigieg is our best.
motivated?
I'm sorry?
Were his prosecutions politically motivated? Can you admit that now, or
no?
Is it too quick to admit that?
When did that finally come out?
I don't know. When Jack Smith just
you can't prosecute a sitting president
a few weeks ago and blew up in his face. Yeah, kind of like then.
That didn't.
What about
I don't remember that part of
Fonnie Willis? You don't?
No.
Oh. Did it work?
So
did those plans work the last time? The last 4 years? Did they work for you?
He did escape his court, he did escape justice. And what I would say is this is not something you can really come rub in our faces, especially for those of you who don't really know anything about those cases.
Oh, I know about them.
Yeah?
I told you exactly about them just a second ago. You won't agree that they were politically motivated.
They weren't.
It's
can you tell me which parts of them are politically
If they were not, what's going on right now?
I'll tell you. I can answer that very simple. I can answer that very simply. Politically motivated in terms of you can't prosecute a sitting president. So, right, at least not federally. So that and it's never been done in the states. That's a grayer area, right? But in Georgia, there's a Republican supermajority. right? Donald Trump wields power, federal funding over states, right? You could say states rats, brother, but ultimately you need the federal government. Governors described Trump's first term as the Hunger Games, that if you pissed Donald Trump off when he was president, he would turn you off when you needed something. If you needed disaster relief, if you need whatever it was, he would punish you. So in a way, it is kind of in Georgia's best interest to stall this. But I just want to say, like, as far as what Trump did, and I'm not arguing about, like the J6ers or what happened on Capitol Hill. I'm specifically speaking about the fake elector scheme. The Supreme Court, when they gave Trump broad immunity for, official acts and made it harder to charge someone for unofficial acts, the one thing they agreed on, and John Sauer, who was Trump's lawyer, who argued in front of the Supreme Court, and he's now going to be he's going to be the new Solicitor General. Like, he'll continue arguing in front of the Supreme Court, which is going to be tough, because if you don't know who John Sawyer is, he has a voice like RFK Jr. It's literally like, it's very hard to listen to the words that are coming out of his mouth. But even John Sawyer said during Supreme Court arguments that the fake elector scheme was an unofficial act. SCOTUS said that's an unofficial act. Like, whatever Trump was doing there, he can be prosecuted for. It's just he can't now that he's president. But that's what I'm saying. What Trump did in that, I'm sorry.
Jack Smith brought fake elector charges against Trump.
Yes.
Jack Smith did?
Yes.
Jack Smith and Georgia. The indictment in Georgia was a state indictment. The federal indictment, there's 7 other fake electors indictments out there, but that's more targeting the people who signed on as fake electors. But yeah, Jack, that's what the federal indictment was about. It was about the fake electors.
Do you know what the indictment in DC was for, bro?
Again, the documents case, that one.
The DC case.
That's in Florida. That's federal. We're talking about the DC federal case.
This is not a gotcha when you guys are.
It was also federal. It was also federal there in Florida, correct?
Yes, they're both federal, but we're saying the DC federal case.
DC federal case.
That was being heard by Chutkan.
Well, again, not insurrection, but again, that he tried to circumvent the election. That was part of the charges.
With fake slates of electors, yeah. Is there anything that would have exonerated from that other than Jack Smith having to drop the charges? That's because he's a sitting president. Is there anything else besides that?
Sure.
What?
The facts of the case.
Of the case.
Sure, absolutely.
Are you familiar with the facts of the case?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Okay, so you do believe that it was, again, you think the Georgia case was going to run and it was a slam dunk and that was all perfectly aligned. Yeah. Their case was
it's more than one charge.
Beautiful.
It's more. Wait, hold on. Let me answer that question.
Of course.
I think there were some charges that were going to be more difficult to prove. Wait, hold on. Wait, can I just answer? Can I just answer the question?
Answer the RICO question.
Yeah, let me just answer you. That's what I'm saying. I think there were some charges that would be harder to stick. Right. But a grand jury was impaneled, right, of just normal Georgia. Jay, now, please let me finish. A grand jury was impaneled in Georgia and in the federal case in D.C. They heard the evidence and decided there was enough evidence to indict. I don't know that Trump would have. Now I'm specifically going back to Georgia. I don't know that Trump would have been found guilty of everything, including necessarily RICO. But what I'm saying is, and that's why I started out by saying, when I speak of what the egregious part that even the Supreme Court agrees is an unofficial act that Trump can and should be tried for, is the fake elector scheme. What he did with the fake elector scheme. And I'm saying both in federal court and in Georgia, that is the egregious part that I don't think he can get out of.
Beautifully mastered political charges. I mean, again, that's just all I can think of is you guys tried, and I'm wondering in 2028 what'll be your tactic.
Jay, now, how are you doing this? How are you doing this in your head? Do you think someone framed Trump with fake electors? Do you think these people who all admit they were falsely elected and being charged in these swing states?
Because of what Trump is already doing to y'all now. Again, he's breaking your brain.
No matter how scared we are, how are these people in existence? What's your excuse in your head that these people, these fake electors that we say are real, they are real and they got charged with felonies too? What do you say to that?
So Jack Smith's got them doing.
No, the states gave them felonies.
You're talking about in Georgia now.
No,
folks.
I'm talking about Arizona, New Mexico, all the other swing states that Trump did this in.
So what's going on with those cases?
They're felony charges. Some of them won't be heard until 2026.
They're moving forward.
Yeah, because these people push these
people. Yeah, the people
I don't know about that, so I need to check on it. So I'll say now I don't.
Yeah, there's like 7 fake elector cases. You know, Kenny Chesborough, he was one of Trump's lawyers.
Yeah, he was the Georgia.
Yeah, he was he was all over the country. He's from Wisconsin originally. He is a lawyer in Wisconsin. He was the architect of the fake elector scheme, and he went and testified in all of these. Like, this is the guy that was running the scheme, and he went and he turned. He ratted everyone out, and he is the state's witness in all of these indictments in different states.
The mastermind.
No, well, you're asking how these cases are being. No, I'm not saying Trump. I'm saying Kenny Chesborough flipped. He's a state's witness. Jenna Ellis flipped in every case she was charged in, and basically he's like, here's all the evidence. Like you have to do a proffer, right? And be like, hey, if you give me some leniency, here's what I can do to bury you. And he went on a cross country tour to different attorney general's offices, basically testifying against the fake electors.
So you're saying this is what Trump is charged with what Kenny Chesborough's doing, or whatever his last name is, Cheeseburger, whatever.
I'm talking. So I thought we were talking about the fake elector.
No, we were talking about Trump earlier. We wasn't talking about fake electors.
No, I'm asking you. What do you think that Trump, you said that this is all politically motivated? What do you say to all of these people who are being charged for things connected to it?
This was not political to you at all.
What makes you think, what could possibly be political about fake electors?
The fake elector scheme was intended to steal a presidential election. Like, it's political in the fact that Donald Trump was trying to remain in office by using the fake elector scheme to bully his way to not leave office. I mean, that has to do with politics.
Democrat politicians. Is that factual?
Democratic politicians. It's an adjective.
Were they Democrat politicians?
Democratic.
Who?
Okay, Democratic politicians. Were they?
Were they
registered Democrats that ran as a Democrat who got elected to the DA position and then filed charges against Donald Trump? Yes or no?
No, these are people like who were like Speaker of the House.
False.
Speaker of the House. False. No, you think every one of these judges
brought the charges? What were they? Democrats? Yes or no? Elected officials? Yes or no?
No, you don't understand.
All the DAs.
Jay, now let me answer your question. In order to bring charges, I don't think you understand how the legal system works. It's citizens in each state. You impanel a grand jury, right? And that is a jury of citizens in each state. And then you say, we're going to present you. No, wait, hold on. We're going to present you with evidence. Right, and then you tell us. Jay. Now you need to understand. Wait, Jay. Now let me finish, and then Jay. Now let me finish.
Don't bring charges. This is what she's explaining. They don't bring charges.
They don't, and either do lawyers. They impaneled grand juries of citizens in each state, and they say we're going to present the evidence to you, and then you guys vote, and you tell us if we indict.
Well, then.
So it is citizens. So just to tell you, it's citizen. It was citizen. It was citizens in Georgia. It was citizens in Georgia who voted to indict. It was citizens in Arizona. It was citizens in Michigan. I'm just telling you, they impaneled grand juries. It was citizens in the federal case.
Grand jury. They announced before they signed the document, Felice, and it was a mistake. But you can't have a mistake like that if it's announced that the charges and the grand jury had not signed and not convened. I can't think of the legal term. They had not actually agreed upon the charges in Georgia. How can you explain that one with the grand jury police, the Georgia case?
Are you just talking about them selecting charges from a list of charges
had
they had proposed?
They released the charges before the grand jury voted on the charges. They announced it.
So the
You don't
timeline
remember
for the
that
charges?
little bitty timeline.
No,
You
they
don't
didn't.
remember that timeline issue? you
No,
guys had?
no, I remember what you're talking about, but that's not it. It wasn't the charges. They released
Absolutely.
the witness. Wait, hold on,
100% verbatim.
hold on. They released the
Look it up.
witness. Yeah, no, wait, hold on. Let me explain something because you're confused. So I think
I'm not.
no, you're not confused, but I need to clarify something because I think this requires clarification. I'm really not trying to insult you. So the attorney generals, or the lawyer, whoever it is, because it's not the attorney generals in these states, right? It wasn't the Republican attorney general of Georgia. He just oversees that state because Georgia does have a Republican attorney general. He is really gross. But the lawyers who are presenting the case to the grand jury, they're the legal experts. So they're saying like, here are the charges, grand jury. Like the grand jury's not they don't know the law, right? They're not like, we'll decide
But you
what
were
to
just
charge
putting
this
it on-
guy
you were
with.
just putting
Like,
it on
so,
to
no,
the
wait,
grand
just
jury.
Jay, now let me finish.
putting it on the grand jury.
Jay, now, please let me finish. So what is happening is the grand jury is hearing the evidence. They're saying, hey, we're going to tell you the evidence, what happened, and then we're going to show you, here are these charges. And based on the evidence we've showed you, we need you to reconcile. Is there enough evidence not to prove that they're guilty, but to indict so that there is a trial, right? And that's what they do. But the charges come from state lists of statutes. It's not like the U.S.
The
citizens
district
are like,
attorney's
we're
not a
going to
part of
make
that.
up a list
The
of
district attorney's
charges.
not part of that, right? The DA has nothing to do with it.
What do you mean?
They
Yes, that's
probably
what I'm
do.
trying to say.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm
okay.
trying
And
to
who
say.
are they elected? Are they Democrat elected officials?
Democrat.
Are you going to tell me that in every one of these
Did they
swing
run
states,
against a Republican and they're a Democrat and they got elected in a
every one of
Democratic
these-
election? Were they Democrats that ran in a Democratic
you're asking because
election,
you
yes
don't
or
know.
no?
You're asking because you don't
I
know
know the
because you
answer.
just learned about this just now.
I know about it.
I
You
literally
don't answer
doubt
the
it.
Question. They're all Democrats. The DAs
No.
that
Dude, please, this is such a reach.
Actually,
this
look
is such
it
a
up.
reach. So
And
even
again,
if,
like,
even
I
if
need
the
to clarify
DAs
again, Jay.
you're
Now,
scared to
even if-
admit that
no,
fact.
Jay.
Okay,
Now,
listen,
Jay, now,
dude,
you're
that
getting the
doesn't-
words wrong.
I don't
because
care.
in some states, let's
It
take
is
it.
a
I live in
fact.
Arizona. Jay, now listen to me because I need to correct you. I live in Arizona. It is not the
Arizona did not
Jay, now-
bring charges
Yes, they
against
did.
Trump,
There's a
ma'am.
fake electors. Look at the map.
So Trump
This is what
had-
Jay.
I
Now,
never heard
please
about the
stop
Arizona
talking and
case.
learn some. Can you mute him just for a second?
then how
so I
do
can
you know
just
that
clarify?
the DA is Democratic?
No, wait, I need to say something because we're all getting this wrong. Let me just tell you, because I live in a state where there is a fake electors case. In the case of Arizona, has nothing to do with the district attorney. It is the attorney general, Chris Mays. That's who oversees all of Arizona, right? But then in Georgia, it's the Fulton County district attorney, right? Which was Fonnie Willis. So it's not DAs in every state. I just need to clarify this. In some states, it's AGs, and in some states, it's district attorneys.
Can you tell me what other states charge Trump besides New York?
You
Michigan,
look at the map that's right
Arizona,
in front of you.
Nevada.
It's all-
They charge
it's the-
Trump?
There's a map,
No,
Jay.
these
Now,
are the
yes,
electors.
Charges? I
No.
know-
Yes.
no,
Oh,
no,
not
to Trump.
Listen,
No.
I'm
Not to
talking
Trump.
about Trump.
he's an
Political
unindicted
motivated-
co-conspirator.
Can you?
He is an
think of the
unindicted
cases
co-conspirator.
That you guys brought up daily for a year and a half that he was charged with. Those district attorneys, what were their affiliations? Can you stop running from that question?
Oh my God! Now you're asking
Again,
us about
it's
his
not in
felony
Arizona.
indictments.
It's not a district
Not Arizona,
attorney.
because Trump wasn't
I-
charged in Arizona.
Again, he's an unindicted co-conspirator.
DC.
He's in
Georgia.
the indictment. He's an
Florida.
unindicted
Okay,
co-conspirator.
Florida's the only one that wasn't Democratic, and
Who
this
brought-
Eileen Cannon very strangely yanked his charges up, saying that Jack Smith wasn't elected properly or appointed properly.
Oh my gosh!
She did
Why are
some
y'all
very
not saying
weird
they're
shit.
Democrats? Why do you not say that? Why are you afraid to say that? The DAs that brought the cases, why are you afraid
Because
to
these
admit
cases
that?
have solid evidence. Have you read the evidence in these cases? Like you're not picking
It's
apart any of the
politically
evidence.
motivated.
You're
I
just showing us
brought that
It's not politically
affiliation.
motivated.
You're just looking at people's affiliation. You're not saying how they acted strangely or in accordance with, like, not with the courts. Like, you're not telling me anything they did politically. You're just saying their political affiliation, and that's why these cases need to be all thrown out.
He announced he was running for president before. Or after
That doesn't
these
make you
charges
immune
came
from
out?
prosecution, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So again,
No
I just want to be clear
No
about
politics.
something. Like I want to follow Jay Now's line of logic just to show how ludicrous it is, right?
Sure.
Under Jay Now's line of logic, if we follow it and what he is trying to say makes any sense, in any state, right? In any state, if the district attorney is, let's say, if the district attorney is a Republican, like that's the case in Phoenix where I am, the district attorney is in fact a Republican. So if you are a Democrat and you commit a crime, let's say you unalive someone, then you are innocent. And those are just politically motivated charges. And we, in fact, should not hold anyone accountable for the crimes they commit because it's a Republican district attorney and I'm a Democrat. By that logic, that's what you're saying. That if it's a Democratic district attorney, any Republicans can commit any crimes they want in that jurisdiction. Because if we prosecuted them and held them accountable, it would be politically motivated. You have to know that makes absolutely no sense.
Okay, well, we'll see as the new administration takes effect, and if there's any charges for any Democrats from the past 4 years, and it's brought by Republican DAs, judges, what will the spin be from the libs? It'll be amazing.
The difference will be that we will. The difference is
libs will be crowing
Jay Now.
about the politics,
Jay Now.
about what registration they are.
The difference will be
guaranteed.
The difference will be we'll be able to run to the facts and we'll run as fast as we can to read